Hello, everyone, and welcome to Technology Tuesday, presented by Out of the Box Technology. We are excited to bring you these free webinars featuring third-party apps, tips and tricks from in and outside of QuickBooks, and hot topics that our industry is encountering. My name is Jennifer Darachuk, and I am a Business Development and Customer Relations staff member here at Out of the Box, and I'll be your moderator today and for all of the Technology Tuesdays that we present you. A little bit about Out of the Box Technology, if you aren't familiar. We have a full staff of consultants that do QuickBooks training, integration, hosting, and support. We also have an extensive staff of bookkeeping consultants, and we have a great group of app development guys who can do website design, custom app development, and data migrations. And we also do a lot of work with franchises, offering them services and solutions. We have two products that we're really proud of. One is our event app that is a full conference registration event app that has been used by several franchises for their events and other organizations for the events that they put on for their staff, their partners, and their clients. Our other app that we have is Recur 360, which won Intuit's Top 10 Best New App for 2017. It's an advanced solution for recurring invoices, payments, and collections, which we're really excited about. But today I am very excited to welcome Veem with us. I have Wiley on the line, and he is going to dive into what their product is all about and the solutions that they can provide for you. So Wiley, at this time, I will hand things over to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jennifer, and it's great to be here. And hold on, I'm sorry, I'm sharing my screen already. Perfect. It's great to be here, and I love seeing Recur 360. We were also in the same app showdown, and we had a ton of fun hanging out with Recur 360 guys, all 2017. That's an absolutely awesome event. So good to see you. Let me get rid of this camera and see if I can get up my slides. And then Jennifer, there's a good amount of feedback. I think it's coming from your side. If you wouldn't mind hitting a mute.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thanks so much. Oops. Great. So we are Veem. We've been around for just about 4 years now. We're just super excited to announce our new round of funding, which came in a week before last, which was led by Goldman Sachs and Google, who had done our previous round. Sorry about that, keeps flipping back and forth. And this is what we're trying to solve. So this probably looks familiar to some of you and extremely familiar to the unlucky ones of you. This is a normal standard wire transfer form. There's 26 pieces of information on this. Most of them are not exactly user-friendly. Like, I don't know if you would know your account title right off the bat, but you certainly wouldn't know your ABA routing number, and your account number might be a pain as well. A lot of that information is going to be obscure. Nowhere on this would be an international form, and nowhere on this lists what the foreign exchange rate is going to be, what fees you might pay to send it out, or what fees you might pay while it's on its way. On the other side, they don't have it much better. Most banks, when you're receiving a wire transfer, give you exactly one line of information. So here's an international one, and you can see this one was lucky enough to have the foreign exchange rate, but you'd have to calculate it yourself. There's 3,000 euros, which is what they would ask for. And you received 3,800 USD, 3,800 some odd, but you don't see what fees we're taking out on the way. You don't really see the foreign exchange rate because it's going to be obscured by whatever fees you were taking on either side of that. And then noticeably absent is who sent you the damn payment. And if you're getting a bunch of these at one time, you might have no idea what's going on. It's expensive, it's slow. This guy is sending it a little bit into a black hole, and this guy is kind of decoding something just to get it on the other side. Frankly, it's not up to the standard that people have come to expect in this new age of cloud accounting. The reason it's been stuck like this so far is because of this. This is the plumbing that goes on behind a bank. So here is your bank, whether it's a credit union. Our last example was Chase. They're going to charge you $40, could be $25, could be $60 to start the process. That's only the beginning of the battle. You'll send it over there, paying your 40, and then they will bunch it up with 10,000 payments that look just like it, and they'll send it over to this bank. 90% of the time, this is JP Morgan in New York. They do they're about 90% of the SMB traffic outbound of the US. And then JP Morgan, they're not a charity. They're going to add about 2%, 1.5% to 2% to the exchange rate to protect their margin and trade it back with a Deutsche Bank or a Barclays Bank, somebody that's doing the same. So you're on the hook for an extra 2 to 4%. And then finally, you're going to pay the bank that you put in all those codes for at the end. And they might tack on a $20 or €20 receiving fee, whatever it is. So no matter how you're doing it, if you're doing it through some of the other systems, or if you're doing it through your bank, this is what it's going through, 4 different banks, and each one taking a little cut of it on the way, which is why it takes so long and why it's so hard to tell where it is at any given time. This is what Veem did first to try to fix this. So rather than starting a wire transfer, we're not a wire transfer. So we don't take any fee to start the process. You just push it onto Veem. That's a 0 fee transfer. And then we put it through one of 3 rails. Our favorite rail and our first choice is the blockchain rail. So this is already, I know it's a bit of a buzzword, and I'm sorry for that, but it's already the fastest, most efficient way to move money around the world. If we're using this rail, imagine if we were sending a transaction to Brazil, which is one of our common blockchain rails. We would take your money here through an ACH debit, buy Bitcoins, and then sell Bitcoins into Brazil, getting Brazilian lira at the same time, and then make a local deposit there, giving them a no-fee transaction and a local Brazilian deposit. We would get the market exchange rate. That's how we make our money. We take about 1% or 1.5%, which to you looks like a 3% savings against your bank. So that'll be the entirety of our profit. So you won't see a fee, your receiver won't see a fee, and we should make it a little bit more transparent the whole way. You can track your payment. Hopefully we're a little bit faster. That does depend on the bank, but both sides will know as soon as the payment is sent, as soon as the payment is received, and you can track it along the way. It should be a little bit safer than sharing your account number and routing number as well. Because of that, we were able to build something pretty cool and pretty radically different. This is our equivalent of the wire form. So you have just put an email amount. We'll find them. We have 80,000 users on the system right now. We're strictly business to business. So that's 80,000 businesses on there. So if you put in somebody's email, there's a good chance they're already there. And then you put in the amount that you want to see. I told you our exchange rates are better. I promise you some of our customers don't really trust us there. So just check it out right away. Compare apples to apples before you ever move a payment. We'll always print it there before any money moves. On the other side, they have it a little bit easier as well. They can see the total. They can see the exchange rate. And then this one is going over to China, and they can choose which currency they'd like us to deposit, CNY, HKD, or USD, depending on how their local bank account is set up. We also will move over the attachment. So here we have a PO, our 2 POs. You could also put the invoice right there. Then everyone understands that this is the payment that's being paid. And we'll store that information for you later on. Up top, there's a little bit of tracking. I could keep going on this, but I think it might be a little bit more interesting if we just jump in and do it live. Let me see if I can slide over here. And then let me pause really quick. Jennifer, is there any questions that I could jump on? Or are we still okay? I know I moved through that pretty quickly.
One question that we have is what happens if the person's information you enter is not there? So I think they meant like when you type in the email and it said you had 80,000 customers in there, what if theirs doesn't populate? How do you move forward?
Perfect. Yeah. I will show you how to punch that in on this side. I think it's a little bit better to do it live, so that's a good question. So for this is for accountants, or if you have multiple accounts, this is just our fledgling dashboard, so you can see every accountant that you've done. You see most of these are complete setup and some are send reminders. What we're trying to do is make this super easy on your clients. So if you send it, you just need basic information. And to your question, Jennifer, this is the basic information that you would have to punch in if you were sending somebody a payment for that first time, or if you were just inviting a new client. As soon as you do, you'll see them in here as sending reminder. All they need to do is give it the okay, choose their accountant's level of access, and then kick the ball back to you guys to complete the setup, which is why these ones take complete setup. But once they are good to go, we can hop right in. and give you that dashboard that we showed before. So there's a few different ways to make payments on Veem, and our goal is to try to fit into what you guys are doing already and not reinvent the wheel. If you guys are having a great process with your domestic payments, that's totally fine. We would like to be able to help with your stickier payments, your international payments. If you would like to use Veem for all of your payments and cut fees out of the process entirely, that is totally fine as well. One of the ways that we like to work with that, especially with QuickBooks Pro advisors or accountants, is up here. So this would be if you wanted to set up the payments for your client, you didn't want them to have their hands on the controls, but you did want to make sure that they were the one liable on the bank account and not you. They would pop up here. You would say, you could set up the payment for them. Your business owner or whoever would be managing these payments there would be able to jump in. You could define this information, or they could, and then they could just send along the payment. When sending a new payment, we have a two-way sync with both QuickBooks and Xero, and I can jump into NetSuite a little bit later on too. We have a two-way sync, so you can either send payments as you would, or send payments and create a bill on your QuickBooks or create a bill on your Xero account. And then you would be able to choose the expense account that you want to pull out. Hopefully that means that your books are zeroed out in the beginning, but I'll just send a standard payment. It's a little bit easier. You can see it offered a few in there. Let's give it a new one. If this is a brand new payment and they're not in the system here, then you just need first name, last name, business name, and phone number. If you have their bank account information, you could put that in later on, but we don't need it just yet. But as we did it before, if they're not in the system, then or if they are in the system, which is how it's starting to be more and more these days, they would just pop right up. Either way, you can send the payment right away. Again, put in the total amount that you want to send. Veem should be fee-free for you. So when you say, I would need to send $5,000, then you will send exactly $5,000. We'll print that again here just so you guys know that there's no funny business. But what we're trying to do is, especially within the US, most customers are just trying to pay what's on their invoice. They don't want to worry about the foreign exchange. And most invoices in the US are listed in USD regardless. So for your customers, for most of your US-based businesses, they won't need to pay Veem anything. They will just see $5,000. They will pay exactly what's on their invoice and send it out. If they are in the pile that needs to pay something denominated in another currency, if they want to list it in 5,000 euros, they can do that right here. We'll show the USD amount, again, so you guys know there's no funny business. We'll show the exchange rates here so you guys can compare apples to apples with the bank. If you'd like to add in some notes to the other side or upload an invoice, you can do that here, CC somebody's boss, but you won't need to. From there, you can just send it along. As you can see, I'm logged in as an accountant. So for me, it's just submit it for approval. And then I'm logged in as the user as well. My user would be able to approve it. This here is for multiple approvals. So here, one of my colleagues is also set as an approver. If you would like to set that up, that's fine too. All that means is that every approver on the system must give the bill an okay. So if you have a controller and a business owner and you want to make sure that there's two levels of protection before a bill moves, then that's totally an option for you. Again, that was quick, and I hope I answered that one, Jennifer. Is there anything else popping up that I want to make sure I cover?
Nope, that's it.
Perfect. Okay. The other way we work is, again, this is a two-way sync. So if you would like to use us with your open bills, if you use a HubDoc or a receipt bank or an auto entry, this is a great solution for you. If you would like to use us with the open bills, because they will go straight from your bill into your QuickBooks or your Xero and then straight out to here. And from here, you can just approve it. The business owner would be here. Again, I'm logged in as the accountant, so I'm unable to send these payments without approval. But I can hop in and review it. Perhaps I need to pay 30% upfront, or see the attachment. Again, if you're coming over from a HubDoc or a receipt bank or an auto entry, you can get this attachment all the way to here without doing any data input, which is really nice. And again, I can submit it for approval. And the business owner would be able to approve. terms of sent payments, we would be able to store everything here. You can see a quick history of everything that you guys have done if you guys want to pull it. This is a demo account, so excuse all the closed ones, otherwise you guys would see everything that you had sent out. Veem tries hard to be both sides of the transaction, so if you'd like to use this as a billing feature, either for your domestic customers or for somebody overseas, you can use that as well. And you can see all of your completed bills here. Just like Venmo, you can also see the requests that maybe haven't been paid just yet, and send a reminder if you need to let that kind of problem client know that he needs to send that along. You can also track your client's cash flow in this way, just knowing what's not coming in, what's not going out just yet. We are only integrated with QuickBooks Online, Xero, and NetSuite. However, if you would like to use this with QuickBooks Desktop, you can just download that same information right there. That should be formatted already for QuickBooks Desktop, so if you can forgive an extra click or two, you could be able to upload that right there. That's also good for keeping an offline record if you like to make sure that you're fully compliant. People require that. On our first payments, we'll always need both sides to okay the transaction, which means that they'll get an email that'll say, Jennifer is trying to pay you this amount. Click here to claim it. And then they can run through it. That's why they can put in their bank account information if you didn't have it. Otherwise, you can just add them to My Network beforehand. This is just like inviting them in. And that way we'll get them pre-approved, make sure that nobody's email has been hijacked and that their bank account is in good standing before you send them money, which is very helpful if you're working with a brand new vendor, for example, somebody overseas, and you want to make sure that Veem takes a look at them before you send them a large check. This is where you would do that. You can go the other way as well and maybe add a few of your customers so that they have an easy time when you want to request payment from them. Here's where you'd find our integrations, and we're adding more all the time. And then finally, mass upload and pay link, which I can show you a little bit more here. If you'd like to pay 100 contractors at once and you want to do it with a CSV, we've made sure to take care of that as well. One cool thing that Veem is trying to add is this pay link preference. So instead of sharing your account number, which drives us absolutely crazy, not only because it's a little bit less secure, but because you're really just handing your customers a chore to go figure out, here's a code and go figure out how to pay this code. Instead of that, what we do is something called a pay link, which is just, this is a customizable URL. You can fix it to whatever you'd like it to be. And instead of using your account number or your bank account number, just use this pay link. And your customers will be able to log into a screen that says, how much are you hoping to pay? In this case, the Treehouse Company. And they can send those funds from, we're live in 95 countries to send to, and 30 or so to receive from. So this would be a good way to increase your cash flow by charging a little bit faster and simplify the process while getting the fees out of the system. Again, we are fee-free, but we also give earn VBAC points, which is just like a credit card. You can earn, a few percent on any transactions that you're making. Let me pause one more time before I log out and do a pay link. Jennifer, are we all good to go here?
Yeah, we're still good. Thank you.
Perfect. Okay, that pay link one more time. So this is what your customers would see. Oops, excuse me. Rather than them going to their bank and figuring it out and you guys playing the game of, I swear I sent you that wire game, they can just go straight here, select the country that they're in, select the amount that they'd like to pay you, bring that down. Again, we'll give them the same exchange rate discounts that we give you. You'll see a little bit better of a bonus here, and you'll get this total sent directly, and then they'll see an abridged sign up. And rather than running through that, I think I'll pause right there and just say, that is Veem. Our goal is that you can set it up within, 10 minutes and use it within the hour. This should be the simplest way to send and receive payments around the world, like a Venmo for businesses. But hopefully we're saving you a good amount in the back end as well.
That's so awesome, Wiley. We did just have a question come in asking, is there a cost for a business to use this?
There is not. It depends how you are coming in. So if you are coming in straight off the street, it depends on your business size. If you are working with us on through our accountant program, there is no cost. So as long as you sign up as a partner, you can add your clients, and there would not be a subscription nor a per transaction fee.
Excellent. I used to work in a bank, and so I'm very familiar with those wire transfer forms. And this just looks so much easier and streamlined and like just so glorious. So I really thank you for showing this.
Of course, of course. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't see any other questions coming through, but I would like to invite anyone who is watching, if you watch it back, anyone who watches on demand, if you have any questions or want to learn more or are ready to get going, to definitely reach out to Wiley and his team. He'll definitely take care of you and get you started because this sounds really great.
Awesome. And just to add to that, if you want to check us out, you can go to veem.com/accountants for our partner program, or just veem.com for anybody else. And if you want to reach my team, it's just partners@veem.com.
Great. Thank you so much, Wiley. With that, I'm going to take the controls back here a little bit just to invite everyone to check out our upcoming sessions that we have. Technology Tuesday is back in 2 weeks with Avalara, and they're going to go over some sales tax compliance issues, and then a couple more sessions in November before we break for the holidays. We do have our 2019 schedule in the works, so if you have a topic or an app that you would like to see us feature, Veem, if you guys want to come back again in 2019, we'd love to have you. Check out that schedule for 2019. It will be posted in the coming weeks. So thank you everyone for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.